For over 3 decades, the Special Olympics Unified Sports Program has brought together individuals with and without intellectual disabilities to inspire inclusion, acceptance, and respect for everyone on and off the playing field. I'm Jackie Brousseau for Comcast Newsmakers at the Kent McCrae Television Studio at the University of Hartford. The president of Special Olympics Connecticut and a pioneer in this movement, Beau Doherty, joins Newsmakers. Welcome, Beau. Thanks so much for being here.
Great to be here, Jackie. Thank you.
So tell me, what is unified sports, and why did you bring this concept to Eunice Kennedy Shriver?
Well, it's teams of people with and without disabilities, and I came to Mrs. Shriver with the concept because at the time, in the early 80s, a lot of people were being deinstitutionalized around the country. And the fact is that Special Olympics at that time only did a program where people with disabilities were out on their own playing sports. The times were changing, and I went to her and pretty much said, you know, if we don't change with the times, we're going to be outdated. Somebody else will pick up the slack here. And we were at the time very popular. Special Olympics was a popular organization to the public. So she allowed us to tweak it a bit. And as a result of that, now we have 820,000 people around the world doing unified sports.
Wow, that's really amazing. What were some of the biggest challenges in getting unified sports off the ground in those early days, and what was your job specifically?
Well, there were two parts to it. One was a global effort, and the other was a Massachusetts effort. In Massachusetts, people were pretty much on the bandwagon with inclusion, so it wasn't a problem. However, in the United States, there were a lot of people who really liked things the way they were. You know, the institutional mindset, people with disabilities doing things on their own. The challenge was trying to either convince them to change the way they did things or to go after people that were middle of the road and get them to be allies. So it was, you know, Indiana, Maryland is an example, were two states that rallied with Massachusetts to really help the movement going in a different direction.
Beau, I have to mention this. You served as chairman of the Global Unified Sports Committee, and you brought in 320,000 new athletes and partners in 2 years while helping to secure a multi-million-dollar sponsorship from ESPN and Disney. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, you know, it's a big wake-up call in Special Olympics when you're actually in front of all the groups that are involved. You know, we had China at the table, people from the Middle East, people from Africa. As a matter of fact, Africa right now with unified sports, that's pretty much all they're doing right now. They're not doing the traditional program in a lot of the new efforts. China has a huge program. Malaysia has a monstrous population. India got over 100,000 people within 2 years doing unified cricket. So the inclusion movement's happening, but it's not happening everywhere. So it's galvanizing countries moving ahead, sometimes through word of mouth or peer pressure. Some countries that are not going that route will do it because of China is doing it. So there's a little bit of that. ESPN has had a long history with us. We've been working with them for a number of years. And they decided that they wanted to take on unified sports worldwide and promote it, along with Disney, and luckily they were able to do that. As a matter of fact, the opening ceremonies for the World Games in Los Angeles will be live coming up, and they'll be doing a lot more inclusive sports elements to what they do versus the typical what you think of with Special Olympics.
What is one of the best stories you've witnessed as a result of unified sports?
A partner on a team asking an athlete to go to the prom, you know, that sort of thing. You know, the captain of the football team at Wilton High, ensuring that the kids on his team that were being bullied were not being bullied. We've had partners and athletes on our community programs who have been in the weddings of each other. So there's a real bond that does happen. You know, sports, if you think about it, if you've been on a team, it does bring you together. And so if you do take our athletes and put them together with non-disabled individuals, some magic can really happen.
So many inspiring stories. Beau Doherty from the Special Olympics Connecticut, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Jackie.
And thank you for watching. I'm Jackie Brousseau for Comcast Newsmakers.